on data visualization with Tableau and Power BI. My name is Harshit and I'm an instructor for this class. In this course, you will be learning various concepts in Tableau and Power BI with hands-on exercises to create powerful business intelligence data charts for finding useful insights, performing data analytics, and can be used for making critical business decisions and can be used for storytelling. It can be also used for various other applications, like you can collaborate with your friends on a particular data set that you have. Can be used for data science and machine learning projects as well. Here you will learn to create various kinds of visualization charts such as simple bar chart, line chart, stepped line chart, pie chart, ring chart, interactive tree map chart, geographical map chart, area map chart, tables and matrices, ribbon charts, butterfly chart, funnel chart, dual axis chart, and much more. Moreover, you will also learn various other techniques such as drill down, simple and complex date slicers, categorical slicer, using live web data. You will also learn about map and using custom filters, as well as you can use any of the chart as a filter. You will learn to create dual axis chart in the complex form and much more. So if you are curious to learn these business intelligence and data visualization techniques in Tableau and Power BI, start learning right now. See you in the class. Hi friend, welcome to this lesson where you are going to learn about creating a bar chart in Power BI. So let's start with this. We are going to just create a simple bar chart, and for that we need a data set. So just go to get data and choose a format that you have. Here I am using an Excel file. So we'll be importing this Excel file for grocery price data set. Just select this table and hit the load option if you want to load. Otherwise you can go to transform for changing the values of the columns and so on. You're learning this thing in the later exercise. So here we got this data set, and here we got 3 different columns, and we can go to the visualizations to create a chart. So on the first row we got all the stacked, clustered bar chart and column charts. So just select any one. Here I'm just using a stacked bar chart, and just move the values to different values. Say date to axis, move product column to legend, and then price to values. So here we got 3 data points. So this just create a simple bar chart. Here we got 4 different bars, and we can change it to represent based on a different time frame. Say on the annual basis we got 1 chart, on the quarterly basis we got 2 charts, and for the monthly basis, if you want to represent, you can get this thing. And there are 4 different bars and different colors, and the light blue, the dark blue, orange, and the violet, each representing different category of values or the legends. You can go to the format tab to change a few values. Say if you want to change the value of legend, you can increase the size of legend simply to make them visible to your audience. So here we got 4 different products: bread, grapes, milk, and oranges. So we got the price data of these 4 food products distributed over month, and we can see the price change of each product, the simple bar chart. So we can simply note here the price of the milk has been increasing over the past few months, and the price of oranges have gradually dropped. So the oranges are cheaper in the later months and the milk is more expensive. So we can decide more things. Here we can change the title as well. Just write the price variation over time. You can edit the title, you can change the values. You got multiple formatting options. Just go through them. If you want to change the colors of individual bars, you can change. Say if you want to change the color of bread to lighter tone of blue, or say any different color, yellow, green, purple, anything like that. You can change the color of grapes, anything, any category. Say change the color of milk to pink, and change the color of oranges to yellow. You can change anything. Just make oranges in the orange color and change the color of say grapes to a different color. You can change the value of individual colors. You can change the size for the text. You can change the data colors. You can change different formatting options. You got x-axis, y-axis. With the different charts, you got different kinds of formatting options. Say a pie chart may have a different formatting option than a bar chart, and so on. So you got a variety of charts, and bar chart would be the first thing that you should try to create. It simply represents 4 different categories and the price change over the time frame. So bar chart is very useful. So this is how you can create a simple bar chart. If you have a data in different sources, say web data, you can use. You will learning this thing in the coming lessons. You will also learn about importing other data sets. You can use a database. You can use CSV files. You can use a live data from the web that I mentioned. You will be learning to create different charts, pie charts, tables, tree maps, funnel chart, scatter plot, and other charts. So this is how you create a simple bar chart. Just try to create this thing on your own. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back, friend. Here in this lesson, you're going to learn about creating a line chart in Power BI. So let's start with this. Let us first create a line chart using a visualization tab, and just use the columns from the sheets. Here I'm just dropping a date column to the axis, product to legends, and price to values. So price are the measures that are in numerical values. You can find the sigma sign between that column and you can drop it into the values tab. And here we got this simple line chart. We can go to the format tab and go to some other options like data labels, and we can change the size of this line. We can change the size of the text. We can perform multiple edits, like we can go to the shapes and just change it from the solid line to a dashed line or a dotted line. So if you want a dashed line, you can use it to change the shapes of your line, or you can use a dotted line to change the value of your dotted line. Otherwise, just keep it solid if you want a straight line without any spaces or dots. Okay, so sometimes you want a projection. You may have different columns and you want a different kind of projection. You want a dotted line as well as a solid line. You can use it. You can change the stroke width. You can either increase it to have a solid stroke. You can decrease it. You can change other values. You can make it step. So when there is a change of value, your line chart will form as a step. Otherwise, it will be constant parallel to x-axis. But line charts are generally defined with slopes. So if you want to have a slope line chart, you can set it default and turn the step option off. Otherwise, if you want to show in the step manner, it will be a new kind of visualization for some people who just don't want a simple line chart. They want to add some step. Maybe you may want to add a bar chart or some more insights. You can just use a step chart. You can change the title. You can change other text, the colors, the legends, and anything else. Just say increase the size of the title, because by default it is quite small. You can make it large, edit the title, you can write your own text, you can just do any other edits. So this is how you can create a line chart. Just go to the format tabs for multiple options. Say here we got a step option and with the different shapes that we can identify. This option was not available in the bar charts or the pie chart, because bar chart cannot have a step bar. Okay, each individual bar is a different thing, and step functionality is only available in the line charts. So in the format tab of different charts, you will have different options. Say here it is. Um, you have to practice by creating multiple charts of different kind and just refer to different formatting options. You will learn how to format each individual charts, and this is how you can read a chart. When you just hover around to the chart with the tooltip, if you want to add a tooltip, you can also drop something to the tooltip. Otherwise it will just generate the default values, and here you see this thing. And this is how you create a simple line chart. For some data you don't want to represent it with a bar chart, you can represent it with line charts or a different chart. So here we have just taken the same data set, created one bar chart and one line chart, and now you can decide which chart you want to use for your visualization. In some scenarios bar chart would be better, sometimes line chart would be better. You can use a combination of more charts or create your own custom charts in Power BI. Just keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hey, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about creating a pie chart in Power BI. So let's start with this. Here let us just import a data set. Here I'm just importing a billing data set in the Excel file, and just hit the load button when you want to load the data. So it consists of multiple columns with different data values, and we'll be using some of them to create a pie chart. So just go to the top visualization tab, and here you can see a small icon for pie chart. Just single click it to create this chart. Once it is created, you can expand it and just start dropping the values. So here let's drop product category into legends because it will be represented into categorical forms. Next, use a measure such as order quantity and drop it into the values. You can take profit or other numerical value that are represented with a sigma sign. Here I'm just simply using the order quantity. You can add more information into tooltips and detail sections. Otherwise just go to the format tab to format different things. Here let's change the font, or you can change the font size. Say increase the font size of the product categories. You can change the font how they are represented. Sometimes if you are creating a visualization, you may require to have a singular kind of formatting standards. That way you can use. Otherwise you can use the default Power BI font if it doesn't matter to you. Also, if you are using in a different language other than English, you can use a font type for that language, like Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Chinese, Mandarin, Japanese, Arabic, or a different language of your choice. You can use a different formatting. Next, you can change the label positions. You can go to the details tab and change the size of the detailed text. Say here we got the label position. We can just change the position. By default it is represented outside the pie chart. You can see the numerical values, the percentage, and we can just make it appear inside. So just go to the label position and you can change it to represent inside, outside, anywhere you want. You can increase the size of the label and how it is represented. So this is how, if you have a big pie chart, it is better to use the inside tab. You can also change the label style, what information is represented. Say if you want to show only percentage, you can show the percentage. If you want to show display the category, you can show the category. If you want to display a combination of data values, category, or percentage, you can do so. Or you can simply show all the detailed labels. So here I'm just going with a category and a percentage sales in each category. And next you can change the color of your data. data points. Here we have got multiple categories such as food, technology, medicines, cosmetics, and toys. Let's change the color. Let's say convert the food to orange and yellow or orange, and technology to blue or a different color. You can choose your own favorite color. You can use a combination of colors. If you're a person who's having a background in design or creative field, you can use the color wheel or the color palettes if you want to use. uh, Otherwise, just take a color of your choice. If you want your diagram to look appealing, you can use the concept of color theory that is in practice with the designing persons. It is not that difficult, just simple thing, just a combination of monochromatic or other color schemes. This is how with the color data colors. You can also change the layout or the style of this entire workspace of Power BI, and just go to different formatting options such as title. You can change how your title is displayed. You can increase the title size. You can keep it centered. You can do them. Some of the formatting options are just common along with different charts, such as the title, the data colors, and other things in different charts. And some formatting options are unique. Say with the pie chart, you got this option to show the label position of your text inside the pie chart, outside the pie chart. It was not visible in the line chart because you cannot simply write a text inside the line. You have to write just above the line, and so on. It will be visible with the bar charts and the ring charts. Sometimes it won't be visible. And here just change the styling of the workspace. Just go to view and change it to dark mode. If you want to have a dark mode, you can choose your own style. Just like a PowerPoint presentation will have a different color scheme, you can change. Okay, so it will automatically change the data colors of your chart as well if you choose a different color scheme. Otherwise, just go to default. Normally people go with either of this black or the dark mode or the white mode, the default mode. Okay, so you can choose a combination of these things. Try creating your own visualizations. Don't worry, it is quite simple to start. Just take a simple data set and start practicing. Okay, no need to worry about anything, just give it a practice. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask in the Q&A sections. I will be happy to help you out in this situation. So just practice this thing, create your own pie charts. You can create multiple pie charts or a combination of different charts together to create a dashboard. You will learning more about creating other charts and other things in Power BI. Till then, keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hey, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you are going to learn about creating a donut chart or a ring chart in Power BI. So let's start with this. So we have just created a pie chart in the previous lesson, and here in order to create a new chart, you can either create a new worksheet or you can just create multiple charts on the same worksheet. So here I'm just creating this ring chart over the top of this pie chart next to it, and just reposition it. And once you are done, you can just drop the values into legends and values. The alphabetic values or the categorical data can go to the legend. It will be categorized, or the numerical value or the measures can go into the values. So I'm using order quantity in values and product name into the legend. And you can just go to the format tab after you have provided the values. So here just format it a little bit. We can change the size of the text. We can just go to the data labels and go to label styles and choose this to represent with the category and percentage form. We don't want the amount to display in this ring chart. You can either turn the legend on and off. Here you can use all kind of categorical data, but to make these two charts synchronized together, the pie and the ring, we just want to have these two information, name of the category and percentage. As these two charts are related, because on the pie chart we have used the product category, and here in the ring chart we are using subcategory. So food is a category that can have a different subcategory: fruits, vegetables, milk, and other things. In a similar way, we can have the categorical and subcategorical segregation. So these two charts are related. Sometimes if you want to represent a story or some data, we may require one or more charts together to create a dashboard. So in order to show the stats or the order quantity by category, we have the pie chart. And if you want to dive into what particular kind of food or the subcategory of food has a maximum order quantity, you can refer to the ring chart. Otherwise, in order to have an abstract view, you can have this pie chart, or with a detailed view, you can have the ring chart. So this is how we can go with this. In the pie chart, we have put the data inside the label values, and now in the ring chart, we put them outside. You can change the colors of the data values and align it with the pie chart. Say with the pie chart, we have the food category in the yellow orange color zone, and in the subcategory you can have a similar tone. In order to make these two charts look similar or identical, otherwise you can use a different color combination, because a category will have fewer entities while the subcategories may have multiple entities or the larger number of entities, so the colors should be distinguishable. So in the previous lessons, be it line chart, bar chart, or the simple pie chart, you learned how to create these individual charts. And here you are not just learning how to create a ring chart, you are learning how to combine it to present a story and make it aligned. So in this way, we can have two different charts to have a specific detail about the information. You can apply more features that are powered with Power BI, such as drill down. You can add filters. Later on, you're learning everything in this course, and here it is. It is simple. Just give it a try. Take a data set, start creating different charts, try to link them. Here I've just taught you how to create two different charts, the pie chart and the ring chart, in a similar way. You can also represent the subcategories with the bar chart, or you can also show with the line chart. But I believe if you have fewer entities, it is better to use line chart. Otherwise, if you got a lot of data, a lot of subcategories here, say if you have 20 subcategories, understanding 20 lines on the line chart would be difficult. So it is better to use a ring chart there. Even if you have a bar chart, it would be difficult to have a different legend. There you need a legend, but you can represent. You can use a different kind of chart. You can turn the dark mode on and off. You can use a different mode if you want to convey. Just create a combination of different charts. So this is how you create a ring chart and combine it with a dashboard. Try to create this thing on your own. Keep learning and keep practicing. Hello, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about creating a tree map chart in Microsoft Power BI. So let's start with this. Earlier we have created a pie chart and a ring chart for categories and subcategory, and this time we are just going to create a tree map chart. So tree map chart is a simple chart which consists of rectangular. These are represented with rectangles, and the area for a particular category will show you the weightage. So just realign. Here I'm just putting country column into the group and order quantity into the values. So here we got two countries for our data set, United States and Canada. So these are represented. So as we can see here simply that the maximum orders were placed from United States, and from Canada we have somewhat less number of orders. But if you want to realign these three charts together, or create a relationship between these three charts together. No need to worry, these are automatically created. If you create a single worksheet and create multiple charts using the similar data set, it will be interlinked. So if you click on a particular category, everything will be reflected. So first of all, just go to the format tab. Here you can do a few formatting. You can increase the size as we have done with other charts. You may find some other formatting options. Here just change the display unit from thousands to auto or anything. If you want to change the display unit of numbers, you can change the color, you can change the labels, data labels. You can turn the legend on and off. So let's change the color. Here United States is represented with blue color and Canada as red. So just place them around. You can always readjust the charts as you like. So you can just make this ring chart a little bit smaller and just increase the size of our tree map chart so it aligns perfectly well. So here we got three different charts. So when we click on a particular option in any of the chart, say in the tree map, we click United States option, all other charts, the pie chart and the ring chart, will be updated. So once we click United States, as you can see, other charts are shrink. This is a powerful animation in Power BI. So we can find in the United States, maximum orders were placed for the food category, less proportion for medicines, more proportion for cosmetics. 100% of the cosmetics order were placed from United States. So we can see that no cosmetic order was placed from Canada. And when you click over the Canada, you can find Canadians tend to order more medicines than food. So this is how you can drive the insights. So once you click on a particular category, you can either just select food and find which country have the maximum proportion of food or technology. Say just click on any of the category or subcategory. You can click anywhere on the chart to exit, or say just select Canada. Here we find that Canadians order less fruit as compared to dairy products and vegetables, and the United States maximum number of fruits were ordered from US. So in a similar way, this is a dummy data, this is not the real data, so don't worry, this is not the difference between United States and Canada. We are taking a subset of few peoples, and this is a dummy data for practice. Okay, so just select a particular category. Here we select say fruits. So you can see United States have maximum order for fruits when compared to Canada. When you select medicines, Canadians tend to buy more medicines than United States, and this is how you drive the business insights. So you have multiple data set, you just don't need to read the tables and go through everything. You can create multiple charts in an attractive manner. So this is how it looks very attractive. Power BI makes it feel very attractive. Okay, when you present this thing in a conference or with teams or collaborators, they will feel amazed with this visuals. So just use these charts and create amazing visuals. Just create a tree map and interact with other charts such as pie, ring, and line charts. So keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about creating tables and matrices in Power BI. So let's start with this. The tables generally represent data in two-dimensional values, and you can only add column in two tables of Power BI. So as you can see here, you got only one option, values. You can add any column to the values, be it a measure or dimension, alphabetic or numerical value. You can use it. So here, just let me drop product category here. You can add more columns into this table anytime you want. So we got formatting options. We can change the size and appearance. You can change the style to contrast alternative rows or have anything else. Later on, we can just add more columns such as order quantity and profit. And after we have created this table, you can also create a matrix. Both are different. Sometimes you can use either of them, or you can combine both of them. But let me just tell you a difference between table and matrix. Table is simple 2D representation of data where you can only add column in Power BI. And matrices are similar to pivot table in Excel. If you have used Microsoft Excel previously, you may have used pivot table, and in the pivot table we got the 2 dimensions, but we can add rows, columns as well as values, and it can be used for a drill down, and you can apply drill down functionality very easily into matrices. Okay, here you get the option to add rows, columns and values, and we can classify. So in the table we got only values, and in the matrix we got row, column and values, and it helps you access deeper levels of hierarchy for a data set visually, and you can examine something in further details. Drill down allows you to do that. So this is a simple table. Now let us just create a matrix. We can change the size and just keep it on the left hand side for reference. Here we got product category, order quantity and profit. We have turned the title bar off, so simply we can see this useful information. Next, just click on creating a matrix. It is next to the table, and you can see here we got 3 options for rows, columns and values. Let us drop a few columns from the table or data set, sorry. We have the states, just put it into the rows, product category into the column and values into profit. One thing you can note here that you may put multiple measure or dimension into either of these things. So as in tables we have added 3 columns into the values, you can add multiple values in rows, multiple values in columns, as well as multiple values in values. And here it is, we have just added profit to values, and you can see you got 1 column for profit. Later on we can add some more information like total price. You can find that few of the cells are empty, so we don't have any corresponding data for that particular cell. Maybe that is the case, but you can add more columns here. Okay, so just try to add total price into the values, and here you can see the total price as well as profit is added to each column. So here you got column and you got sub column. So matrix is an advanced computation. Sometimes you have multi-dimensional data, you can use matrix to represent. Just as a mathematical matrix, you get 3 dimension, 4 dimension or a higher dimension computation, you can represent using matrix, where something table, simple table cannot fit a lot of data. Just go to the formatting tab to format the matrix as you format other charts. You can have a minimal styling, contrast, alternative rows, sparsing or a flashing rows. Let us choose a flashing rows, so it looks visually good. So here on the left hand side we got a small table, and on the right hand side we got a detailed matrix. Sometimes there could be information that cannot be simply represented with a pie or the bar chart or any other chart. You may require matrices. Still, it can allow you to drill down or drill up and add filters and advanced functionalities. You can add slicers and anything else that you will be learning in the coming lessons. So here you learned how to create a table and a matrix in Power BI. So this can allow you to represent data. Try to create your own matrix, multi-dimensional matrix or a simple 2-dimension table. Try to add different values, measures or dimensions into multiple columns, rows and values. You can use a data set and just try to create this thing. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. In the previous lesson, we have just created a table and a matrix. And now in this lesson, you're going to learn about implementing this drill down functionality on table and matrix. So let's start. So what is drill down? Simply, drill down allows you to access deeper level of hierarchies of a data set visually. So when we click on a particular row or column, say technology, in table, it will update the matrix only for the technology. In the similar way, if we choose say California from the matrix, it will only highlight the relevant information in table. So if you want to dive deeper into a particular category or entity, a particular thing, and get a relevant information for that thing, we can find out. Just keep it simple. Say the product category, order, quantity, or profit details are shown in the table, and by default it shows the entire state, or from the United States and Canada, all the profit combined together in the food category, cosmetics and medicines, technology. But if we select a particular state, it will only update information for that state. In the same way, if we choose a particular category, it will update only particular category information in the matrix. Here let us create one more chart, this time a column, a pie chart, and just put a country into the legend and order quantity into the values. So here we find a simple pie chart, and we can also format it further, but let it be. We are focused on drilling down. So here we got three charts. These are connected together with each other because we have the similar data set. And when we click say select Canada, it will show you the information only for the Canada. Both tables and matrices are updated and will show you only the information for the Canada. So this is a drill down technique based on multiple charts. Say if you select food, it will only show the food data for US and Canada. So in the pie chart, you find this relevant information highlighted on the right hand side. In the matrix, you find that particular information is highlighted. So if you want to focus or target on the particular category, say geographical location or a particular category, product category, you can just focus on that product line. Okay, so you may update with the relevant information. Say if you are making a presentation with your peers, colleagues, you have a sales data for different states, and say somebody popped up and said, let me focus just on California into the technology sector. So you can select, just hold a control key on the keyboard and the single click, or you can select multiple columns or categories with the mouse and control. So this way you can focus on a combination of things. Okay, it will show you the relevant information. It makes life very easy, and drill down is really useful. Rather than creating different tables or different charts for a particular solution, it may take time, but here you drill down in the real time without requiring to create separate charts, and you can just focus on things that matter. Try to create this thing on your own. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about creating an amazing chart in Power BI, that's ribbon chart. So here we need a new data set. We are just importing this grocery price Excel data set. You can use any other data source like database or web data or PDF or a different format of data. You got a lot of formats, and you can use cloud services and other services as well. So here just refer to the data set that you're using and hit the load option. So what is a ribbon chart? Ribbon chart is a creative way of visualizing the stacked data that you can also create with a stacked column chart, but here we want to align them based on the ranks. We want to see the flow of the ranks. Say sometimes one category is on the top, so you can get maximum sales or something from that category. On the next month or next quarter it has changed the rank, so we can find the flow of orders or rank of this stacked information. Here data category are arranged on the highest value, so highest value is on the top and it changes with the axis you provide. Here we will be using the time. So you can find the ribbon chart on the right hand side for the second row in the visualization tab. Here you can create this ribbon chart visualization, and you got a little idea how it will going to be look. And here just navigate through these options. You got axis and just put date into axis and price into the values. So values is a measure. Based on that, we will get rank for the orders. Next, we take the date for the axis, and for the legend, we got products. So it consists of 3 dimensions. The x-axis is based on a date. You can take a different time frame. Here it is showing the annual time frame. You can just cross it to remove it. So when you cross year, it will show the quarter. When you cross the quarter, it will show you the monthly data. So it depends on, if you have a annualized data, you can use that. If you have a monthly or quarterly data, you can use it. If you have a daily data, you can have this thing. You can also convert it to weekly information and so on. So this is a flow, and you can go to the format tab to add some details, like turn the data labels on, so it will add the data labels that are relevant, say order quantity, or here we got the price. It will show you the sum of price. By default, you can change it to average, account, or any other parameter. You can also find the median or other things. You can increase the text size of data labels as well as title or legend, anything else. Here we got 4 different categories: bread, grapes, milk, and oranges. And you can find the data arranged on the 5-month cycle. On the first month, we got this milk to be on the top, and it is constantly on the top based on the price. Okay, so it is on the top, first rank. And the second rank, we got this bread, and it is on second rank for 3 months, and then it's dropped. With the formatting, you can also turn the spacing between these ribbons. You can increase the spacing, you can decrease the spacing based on your requirement. On the third category, we got this oranges and the grapes. We can find this thing, and it changes the values. You can also add an image to the background, or you can turn the mode into the dark mode, or the background. You can change the styling. You got other formatting options as well, like shadows, highlights, tooltips. You can also add some information in the tooltip. If you got multiple measures like order quantity, profit, loss, anything, any more numerical value, you can also add on into the tooltips, or you can also show it into the values. Just remember, you can add multiple columns into the values or any other axis. You can also change the color as you want. Let's change the color of orange to orange, and we find the grapes has successfully grown. So initially the grapes was in the last category, and in the preceding coming months it grew to the third and the second category. So we can identify the trend, the flow of rank. Here which category jumped to the higher rank and which category moved to the lower rank, you can simply identify with this ribbon chart. So sometimes you may require a ribbon chart. Say if you're running a company, or you have multiple units, or you may have different streams, you can find where the traffic is coming. It can be used for analyzing traffic, any kind of content that can be categorized and has to represent in the flow or the ranked manner. So this is how you create a ribbon chart, and here you can do comparative analysis. It can be also used for applying drill down functionality. You can change simply change the values. Here on the axis we got date. If you want to see the quarterly data, we can just turn the year off and we can find this quarterly data. So you can find the quarterly data, you can find the monthly data, daily, and the weekly if you require. So based on the data set, you can also combine it with other charts to have a drill down functionality. You can create it to create an amazing dashboard for driving insights, or you can create multiple worksheets for different versions. So just try creating a ribbon chart. Just use any kind of data you have that you want to arrange in the trend manner you want in terms of order or the ranks, the systematic way, and you want to have this flow. Don't be confused with the Sankey chart. it is different from the ribbon chart. uh, this is a ribbon chart, it has a different purpose, and the Sankey chart is a different thing. Okay, so ribbon chart allows you to show information visually with ranks and orderly fashion, and with the Sankey chart you have the flow from one direction to other dimension. Say you can use for the climate change data, say the source and destination, you can connect those information, but ribbon chart don't do that thing. So Sankey chart is a more advanced version. In Power BI we don't get Sankey chart by default, and it's rarely used for simple corporate presentations. You can use a ribbon chart for a lot of functionalities. It is attractive because a lot of tools out there like Tableau don't have a Sankey, don't have a this ribbon chart by default, but Power BI support this thing. So if you are a Power BI user, you should appreciate this thing. So just create a ribbon chart and visualize your information creatively. Try to create this thing on your own. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about creating a slicer in Power BI. So what is a slicer? A slicer is a kind of filter that provides you multiple options in form of checkboxes where you can select a particular option, and that will be used as a filter criteria to modify your visualization. Here we have the simple visualization of this table, and here we can create a slicer and we can drop any field here. So just drop country into the field, or you can add states. So when we have the country, we got checkbox with country name, and when we expand it we also get the state's name. So these two columns are related. So when we select a particular checkbox, say a particular state in Canada like Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, it will show you information regarding to that states only. You can also select multiple columns, multiple checkboxes by holding the control key on the keyboard and just single click on a particular column. You can also select states from other options. Like in the US you can select New York, New Mexico, Idaho, Illinois, different states. You can use this kind of a slicer to create a filter to show you information relevant to that particular state. Say currently you have the sales data for all over the country in the US and Canada, but when you want a specific data for a particular state, you can create a slicer. Rather than creating multiple charts, it is sometimes useful to create a slicer. So it is a basic kind of filter. You can create a slicer for date, time. You're learning that thing in next lesson. But you can also create a slicer for a variety of things. Say if you have various kind of categories and subcategories, it can be used to dive into deeper. Say if you have a category like technology, food, different categories in the continent, you can just divide. So there is no limit to imagination, and you can use a lot of things. You can also create various filters, advanced filters, but to be useful a slicer would work in a lot of scenario. You can format these slicers just like you format the general charts and the visualizations. Just go to the format tab and you will get multiple options that you can play with. So this is how you create a simple slicer. You can also select multiple fields, multiple columns. You can also create multiple slicers on the same chart. So whenever you create a slicer with the same data set, which is used to create a visualization in your Power BI dashboard, the slicer gets automatically linked to your chart. So you can use a slicer with multiple charts or a combination of charts as well. So try to create your own slicer and use it with the various charts in Power BI. Till then, keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you are going to learn about creating a date slicer in Power BI. In the previous lesson, you learned to create a basic slicer, and here just moving forward with a new slicer. You can use this slicer as a filter. So let us first create a slicer. Just go to the visualization, and in the lower row you got this option, so just click it. So here we will be dropping order date into the field. So when we drop order date, it will fetch year, month and date data, and it will show you a slider by default. So here you got 2 points, the starting date and end date. So you can select a range of dates by just moving 2 points of the slicer. So if you want to select say 1 week, 10 days or any amount of day starting from say 25th March or 11th December ending date, you can select, or you can just click on a particular date to select a custom date. Okay, so you got two options. You can slide, or you can just go to a particular date, year and month, just like you do in any web page. So it is very cool thing. You can just create this date slicer and just keep it in the side of a visualization, and when you're showing your presentation, you can use the basic slicer as a filter for categories, and date or time slicer to select a time frame. So let us first also create one more data slicer. You can create a data slicer in two ways. Just go to this option and you can select date hierarchy. So it will show you date in terms of checkboxes arranged in a hierarchy or categories and subcategory format. So you can select them just like a basic slicer. So you got years, quarters. When you expand a quarter, you will get months. You can expand a month to get a particular date, and so on. So you can use a combination of a slider, the date hierarchy, and a basic slicer to just navigate through your visualization. People generally do drill down in charts. You can use drill down, but when you require a filter or particularly a slicer, you can just create these things. So these are very empowering thing. It may look like they are very simple, but once you combine them with the charts that you create, all the charts, tree map, pie, bar, line, any map chart or a combination of custom charts, it will simply take your visualization to the next level with very ease. Say if you have visualization for sales data across a region, and your client asks, your friend asks simply, now I want to get the sales data of Texas from July 2019 to February 2021. You can just use these two slicers and navigate through the exact data a person is asking for. Alternatively, when we use a database query language, SQL can be used for performing such kind of query, but here we have the power to show it visually in real time without writing any script or query. So slicers are very powerful filters that can be used with your charts for real-time query handling. So try to create your own slicers and integrate with your charts to create an amazing story. So stay motivated. Try to create these kind of filters, slicers and charts in Power BI. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hey, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you are going to learn about exporting a subset of chart data into CSV file. So let's start with this. So we have created multiple visualization charts. Here we have the pie chart, ring chart or tree map chart, and we can export a subset of data. Say if we select a particular option from either of the chart, and we can extract relevant information. Say if we want to know data only for the United States or simply Canada or a simple category, we have to just select the chart, select a particular section and right click on show data point as a table. So it will generate a table for the data points. Here we have selected the fruits category, so it have just created the data for fruits. In the same way we can select any other thing, say technology, so it will show you the data for the sheet just for the technology category. It will leave all other categories, ignore all other categories, and will show you this information. So in case if you need any particular information, you have a large data set and you want to filter it on this point, you can do this thing. And you can also export it into the CSV. Just go to the more options on the top right corner and hit export data. Just provide the name for your CSV file, comma separated value, or you can also save it into the spreadsheet or any other format of your choice. By default, people generally use CSV file because it gets easily connected with web data, databases, cloud data, and other visualization tools. So here we have. So this is how you can just view a particular segment of data. You can have the charts. You can select a particular segment of the chart. You can extract the data and export it and save it for further analytics. It is vital because say if you're working in a team and you have created a visualization and your friends or collaborators want a particular chunk, say they want only the technology data, or they want you have a team for different divisions, say US West, US East, US North, US South, and you want to provide them with the data relevant to their domains, their specializations, their areas. So you can just extract that chunk of data very easily in Power BI, create a spreadsheet and share with them, so they can perform further more analytics that are relevant to their case or for any other reasons. So this is how you can extract data and export in CSV. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about using live web data and use it in Power BI. So let us first search something on internet. Say just search for biggest forest area on Wikipedia, where we are using the Wikipedia as a source of information. Here we can find the countries and the continents with the largest forest areas and the changes of forest area over the year. So we just want to create a visualization on this data. So this data is not stored in any Excel file in our computer, so we can just go to get data and hit the web icon, web option, and here you have to provide the URL for the web page or the website you want to extract data. So just provide this URL for this web page, and here all the extracted tables from that web page will be in front of you. So you can select any table, you can select a particular table, or you can select a group of tables and hit load, or it is better to go to transform option. So it will open the query editor dashboard, and here you can optimize or just change the data in the way you want. So here basically I want to just rename the columns, so it's better to first change the name of the column. You can change the values, you can round off the values. Say if your values are in billions, millions, you can add some commas, you can remove delimiters, you can change it to your format, you can remove the null values, you can remove the redundant rows, anything. So here just change the value. Here we write the year wise data, so we change the column title to year, say 1990, 2000s, 2020s, and so on. So here we have just changed, and next you can go to this remove rows and remove top rows. Here you have to provide the number of rows that you want to remove. So if you write 1, the first top row will be removed. Okay, so here we remove first top row because that was redundant. We don't require that row in our column data, because when we are comparing continents or countries, we don't need the world data because it will graph 50%, because it consists of sum of all the values we don't want. We can remove, or we can remove the title as well. So you can change, and when you right click a particular cell, you can also rename the values. Say North America and Central America, we can simplify it with North and Central America. So America was repeated, we can reduce it to one time. People will understand it easily. So when you're visualizing something, you want short and crisp data. Where all other continents are named with a single word, this particular option had 4 words. So we don't want this thing. So here we have this table, and once you're done, you can save it. And here we can create any kind of visualization. You can create a tree map, you can create a ring chart, pie chart, anything you want. So here if we create a tree map, we can just add some values, like in groups we can add region, and in values we can add data. You can add here we have data for a particular year, you can add it, or you can create a ring chart. And here you can see first row is redundant, the world data. World is not a continent, so it is better to remove it. So we will again go to the query editor, back to the query editor, and we can transform this data further. So just select the query data set and you can go to the query editor. This is the option here. When you are not sure your data is filtered enough, you can just remove some things and you can edit it. Just right click the query editor, you have this option. So just go to remove rows and hit the remove top rows. Here we will be removing the first row, and this is, so earlier we could have removed 2 rows, but if you say if you start editing something, creating visualization, even still at that point of time you feel like your data is not accurate, you want to add something. This phase is widely used in data science and machine learning projects, and this is called this is a component of feature engineering. Okay, because you have a big data set and you want to just in a stepwise manner over a period of time, you want to filter some of the components. You want your data to be more realistic, more reliable. So at every step you are just altering some data sets. So here it is, we have created a ring chart for the same data, and here you got the data for year 1990s. In the similar way, we can, if you want to compare, we can do it in a different way. We can create a line chart, we can create multiple ring charts, we can do anything like that. So here first of all, just create a ring chart, and here it is, forest cover for 1990. You can go to the format editing tab, format tab, and change the label type, perform any edits that you want. You can just make your data look live. You already know how to create these kinds of charts, ring charts, and anything else. This is the first time you see the query editor. You can perform various edits in your data set. You can use the web data and use it as it is stored in your Excel file or database. So try to create this live web data extraction. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi there, welcome to this lesson where you are going to learn about importing a file in Tableau. The Tableau allows you to do various kinds of visualizations, and it's important to know what kinds of files it can import. So it can import Excel, text, JSON, Access file, PDF, spatial, statistical, and other files as well. It can import various kind of databases. You got a lot of variety of databases, from SQL, NoSQL databases, Oracle database, Amazon Redshift, different cloud databases, Apache databases, and various other options. You can also import Google Analytics and various other data sources into Tableau. So Tableau is a very powerful data visualization tool that can allow you to import data in various structured or semi-structured format that you can use here, and sometimes unstructured as well. So you can import a variety of databases. If you have a database, you can add. Currently I have this Excel file, and to import an Excel file or CSV file, you can go for our Excel and hit the import. We got this table. So you can see after we imported a file, all the content in that table is visible in this option. So all the columns, the rows are clearly visible. You can also edit some values here. You can perform some additional some operations like data cleaning and change the values of individual cells, individual columns and rows, uh, like you do in the Excel file. Also, you can open an Excel file as well, and sometimes data could be unarranged, and you can use the data interpreter to remove certain irregularities from the table or from the data source, and it will be interpreted easily. Null values will be removed and similar thing will be removed. Null values are just empty cells that does not have any value in it. So after we got this table, the next step is to create a sheet. In the sheet we will be able to do any kind of operation and visualization. You can change the number of columns, number of rows that has been imported from the table. Say if you don't provide any value, it will import everywhere field. But if you provide any value, say 5, 10, it will only import those particular rows. So sometimes you could have a large chunk of data and you don't want to add all the rows in the database. So you can go with this. So when you go to the sheets, it will have you something like this. On the right hand side, you got various kinds of charts that you can create. On the left hand side, you got two columns here, the dimension and the measures. These are just columns from the table or from the spreadsheet that has been extracted here. So the numerical values go in the measures and non-numerical values go in the dimension. You can always convert these values, you will learn in the later lessons, and you can drag and drop measures or dimensions into the column and row field, and it will generate a simple chart. So right now we got a bar chart, and you can change the value to different charts, say tree map or the circular charts, circular pie charts. You could have different kinds of chart as well. On the right hand side, it will also show you which kind of chart can be created using the parameters that you provide in rows and columns. So don't be confused, just get familiar with the interface of Tableau. You will be working everything in this interface. Okay, so if you are scared right now, don't worry, just go to the Tableau interface and add a data source such as Excel sheet and start creating some rows, columns, some charts, and get familiar to it. So after you have created a chart or visualization in Tableau, it's better to save that file to avoid data loss. Your Excel file will be intact, but you want to save a visualization, and it can be done in Tableau format. Later on, you can also convert it to images or other formats as well. Just save your file, provide any name, it will be saved with TWB file format, and hit OK. So you'll be learning more about Tableau in the coming lessons. Keep learning, keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you're going to learn about various chart types in Tableau. So let's start. So in the previous lesson, we have created a simple packed bubble chart, and we got various columns and rows defined here. You can remove by right clicking and hit the remove. So next we need to create a chart from fresh. So here we take the order quantity in row and profit and column. It will automatically generate some of these values as they are numerical values or measures. Next we can add total price to rows or column. So we can create various kinds of chart. On the right hand side, you got the charts enabled that can have this number of rows and column. So some charts could be created by one column and one row. Some charts require 2 columns, some requires 3 columns, and so on. So you can try different visualizations by combining a number of dimensions and measures defined as rows and columns. So when you right click a value in row or column, you can change the sum to average, median, distinct, variance, or any other value you can choose to do. It will only affect the numerical values. So if you have say profit, You can create sum of profit, you can create average profit, median, you can count different profits, count distinct values of profits. A lot of operations can be performed here, so it is a very important thing that you can do. And once you don't need any column or row, or you have chosen by mistake, or sometimes you require a different kind of visualization, you can easily right click remove. And adding a column and row is very easy and intuitive. You can just drag a dimension or measure on this column and row values. So let's try different charts here. You can got the tree map, the bar chart, the pie chart. You got the horizontal bar chart, the histogram, box and wizard, packed bubble charts, highlights and tables, stack bar chart, the map, and different other charts. So you can try different visualizations on the values. Sometimes you can also create the map chart you're learning in the coming lesson. And here we got this different values. Say you can drop some values of invoice or order quantity, and you can define. So when you are beginning, you can combine different values. First you need to learn how to work in Tableau. So we focused on that point. Later on you can focus on creating a simple meaningful visualization. So sometimes we could have different kinds of parameters. Say here we got a bar chart which have different values colored in a long chart, and we can simplify this chart by applying using different cards. So here we got different cards like color, size and label. You can drop any measure or dimension on these cards to impact the graph. So when we drop any value in the size, it will decrease or increase the value of the components in the chart as well. So you can combine a variety of chart. This is the packed bubble chart, and sometimes it helps in visualization. Various organizations like that show the climate change use a creative chart. You can also create your own custom chart. That will be advanced part, and you can also filter out various components. So here we got different components, legends on the right hand side, and you can enable or disable anything like that. So you can hide these chart options on the chart panel on the right hand side, and you got this thing. Also you can create filters and other things. So just practice, take any CSV file, Excel file or any database, and just try creating different charts using a combination of measures and dimensions. So sometimes you may wonder that your charts and rows column look empty, but it is not empty. The values have gone to the cards category, cards panel, and it depends on the chart. So it will allow you to add some more components to the rows and columns. So this is how you create different charts and visualizations in Tableau. So don't try to master everything in your first attempt, take multiple attempts, but first be focused on learning the interface as a whole. Get familiar yourself with creating different charts and other options in Tableau. Keep learning. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you are going to learn to create map visualization in Tableau. Maps allow you to create amazing visualization where you have geographic data to represent. So here I will be dragging this country dimension on the row and the profit measure on the column. So this will help us to create a map. So we need one parameter for the geographic value, and another can represent any numerical value or anything else. So here we have created a map of North America containing data information from US and Canada. So here we can double click state or country or any other property like city. It will be represented in the map, but it will have a dotted kind of view. So in order to have a clear view, we can drag the value of order quantity or any other numerical value to the color. So all the states or any entity, in case we have classified data in form of states, you could have in form of cities or anything like that, they will be colored in different way. So here we have a monochromatic color scheme, so it will have a different shades of same color. So the darker the color, the more profit, the more order quantity is represented. You can drag any numerical value like dimension to the color. And here when we drag any other property, say states, to the label, all states will be displayed with a text on them. You can always remove any cards or any other property in Tableau by just right clicking and remove. And you can drag same properties multiple times in different cards. You got different cards like color, size, label, and more. So you could add a tooltip, you could add a color. So when you drag any property to the color, it will affect the color. Say if you drag the order quantity, uh, the higher order will be represented with the darker color, and the less order will be represented in brighter color. So here we can conclude that Texas has higher order quantity as compared to California. In this case, you could have different values, and we have dragged the label, the states in the label. When you double click on any property, any cards, you will get options. Say you can change the color property, you could change it to pink, magenta, purple, any other color. There are various color combination options, and you can also choose a custom color as you wish. And here you can change the color scheme. So you can go with any color scheme that you want, but sometimes if you choose uh, multiple color scheme, it would be a little bit confusing. In order to have some situations like heat map, you could show some parameters as warm colors and some with cold colors. You could have an intensity mark as well. So let's go with any color here. Let's keep it purple. It will allow you to visualize in simple ways. You could create different kinds of map representation. You can create map with a Tableau public and desktop, both alike. When your data is spread across the globe, you could focus on certain things as well. And if it is concentrated in a particular state or a district, it will be also represented as well. So geographical data are critical to visualization, and sometimes it is better to visualize in form of map. You can always combine a combination of other charts as well, like bar chart, wrap bubble charts, and area chart and other chart as well, along with this map chart in the dashboard and the story. So you'll be learning more in the coming lessons, and this is map. Just keep it, go and try creating a map visualization. The steps are simple. You need to drag a country, the state, or district, or any other geographical property to column or row, and just drag any numerical value to another column or row. So now this is time for you to practice creating a map visualization. Just use any geographical data, provide some numerical value, and plot it in Tableau. So practice, keep learning, and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, we are going to learn about converting measures to dimensions and dimensions to measure and few other properties. So earlier we have created a map visualization and we got various dimensions and measures here. So what changes in properties of each individual measures and dimensions can be performed, you have to learn here. So just select any dimension and just right click. You got various options here. You can change a data type, or you can change the default properties. Like let's change the format of date. So here you got multiple formats that can be used to format a date. It could be month, day, and year, or just month and year and anything like that. You can also apply formatting to time and other values as well. Next, you can get various options here. You can convert a discrete value to continuous, continuous to discrete, and so on. And you can convert a measure to dimensions. A measure is generally a numerical value, and numerical value can be stored in dimension as well. But you cannot convert text information in dimensions to measures. Although when once a numerical value is been converted to dimension, you can flip back again to measures. When you try to convert any dimension with text information to measures, it will be by default stored as a count value. So it will sum up the values. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you are going to learn about creating multiple worksheets in Tableau. So earlier you know how to create a sheet and add a visualization and different kinds of graphs. So if you want to create multiple worksheets, you can do it very easily. Just go to lower left side and you got three options. First is to create a worksheet, second is to create a dashboard, and then to create a story. So a dashboard is a combination of multiple worksheets. So before heading to create a dashboard, it's better to create multiple worksheets. So this is our second worksheet, and here we can add different informations. Like here we create a map visualization using some geographical properties and numerical properties. Okay, you can drag any dimension or measures to different kinds of marks, color, size, label, tooltip, or you can drop to rows and columns. And next, create more worksheets as you want. So in a dashboard you can accommodate uh, 4 to 5 worksheets very easily and effectively. Although you can add more worksheets, but in order to grab some great attention, it's better to go with a appropriate number of worksheets. Okay, so here we can create different visualizations. You can use the same data set to drag different kinds of insights. Generally speaking, data sets are large. They contain a large value of rows and columns, so you can create different visualization. So here you can create visualization for number of product sales based on the geography and the states where the products are sold maximum. You can create a pie chart representing various segments of products, or it's better to go with a bubble wrap chart because it helps get analysis very clearly when you have to compare quantities based on profit or anything. You can use this bubble wrap chart. So when we drop the number of quantities in the size card, it will filter out each category based on the number of quantities sold. So food has been sold in the larger quantity, so it has been displayed. Or you can press Ctrl Z or add anything. You could add more information to the tooltip, so it will generate a tooltip. Okay, so just get back, and here's the visualization where everything is arranged based on the profit generated. So the technology segment has generated a larger profit when compared to food. So you can create some visualizations like this. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you are going to learn about creating a dashboard in Tableau. So what is dashboard? Dashboard allows you to add different visualizations or worksheets in a single page view. So it will be easy for anyone to convey different visualizations and draw insights from the dataset and present it to a higher authority or somebody that you want to present. So here we need to create a dashboard in the same way that we created a worksheet. So creating a dashboard option is next to creating a worksheet. And you can add multiple worksheets here. Just hold the worksheet and drag on the screen. So here we got three different worksheets: map, dual axis chart, and a bubble chart. So we can drag on the screen. So this is a dashboard and it will have different data on the similar page. You can readjust the size of each chart or visualization and adjust them accordingly the way you want. So if you have got two different entities, different visualizations, you can represent them side by side, or you can add a third and the fourth layer on the lower side or anywhere else. You could also hide certain visualizations and show them when they are required. Okay, if you have multiple charts or worksheets, say 10, 12, 15, and at a time you want to represent only 3, just add everyone and just expand anything the way you want when you are required. But we got only 3 charts here, so we can adjust them. We would require for map to be large. Bubble chart can be shown in a smaller area as well, so we can adjust it accordingly. If you want to add some filters, you could always add a filter to dashboard. So filters allow you to dive deeper inside to draw more insights into particular things. Say here in map, we got that the states that have a maximum amount of product sold. So here we got California and Texas have more order quantity. But if you want to dive deeper into Texas, that in Texas what cities were responsible for the sales, we can drive in this. So here we got a dual axis chart. We can always turn anything on and off, like bar charts. You can make them visible or just make them transparent or any values. So you will learning this thing later on. But first rename everything. You can rename the entire dashboard, each visualization, by providing appropriate names. So here we got the profit versus quantity visualization. So just press OK. So first dual axis chart will represent the profit versus quantity. So adding a name will add some more information, so you can just directly drive to the main point. Don't need to explain everything from scratch. This visualization using dashboards look very appealing to a large set of audience, and it will make your data or the insights or the idea that you want to convey very easily to explain to a larger set of audience. Okay, the people who are not just experts in data, understanding data and the mathematicians and things like that, you can explain it to everyone. So here just rename things here, and you got various objects here that you can apply as well. Dashboard have its own features. You can set different worksheets here. You can also set the layout and different panels. Just rename a dashboard the entire theme of this presentation. So this is a sales dashboard. So it could be for a company that runs its business and have the sales across Canada and the USA. They want to focus on their future projects. So here on the right hand side with the bubble chart, we know that the technology segment is working very well. You can just click on any states in the map to get some more information with tooltips. If you have set the tooltips, okay, you can set the technology and you can set tooltips to any kind of charts, bar, dual axis, map, bubble, and tree map, anything you want to add. You will be adding filters to dive into deeper. So here it is, a simple presentation. Try creating your own dashboard, create all the reports from scratch, use any data or create your own data set and start querying. Be a data science enthusiast, keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you're going to learn about using a map as a filter in Tableau dashboard. So we have created a dashboard and we got 3 different visualizations: bar chart, the bubble and a map. So just go to map, and on the right hand side you got various options. The third option, you got this funnel icon. Just click on that to enable using map as a filter. So when you point towards a particular state on the map, all the data will be updated on the states. So Here when we press the Texas or Quebec or California, the information will be only provided for the state. So here we can clearly say that in the California, technology segment worked very well. But in the New York segment, we got the food worked well. Here no sale was recorded for the technology segment. When we go to the Quebec in the Canada, the technology is again the lead. Ontario and other states, we can find the insights. So in different states, so just select any particular state and all the chart on the sides of this dashboard. This is bar chart, the bubble chart. If you have pie chart, area chart, tree map, everything will be updated and map will be used as a filter. So you can clearly identify and dive deeper into your data. So earlier we got the complete overview of every states and the complete region, but right now we can dive deeper. So in different states of Florida, we can find that twice I have more sales than any other thing. So Florida is an outlier in this scenario. So we can focus on creating twice for California. A similar way, you can drag the insights to identify the customer behavior and all the parameters that are working in a particular location. In a similar way, you can use a different thing as a filter. If your bubble chart can be used for a filter, if you select a technology segment, everything like in the map or on the chart, only the technology segment will be highlighted. So just create a dashboard and apply filters. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson we are going to learn about creating custom filter in Tableau. Earlier we have used a map as a filter. When we selected a particular state, it will filter out everything else. But here we want to create a custom filter based on dates, year, weekend, and so on. So we can do so by just going to the worksheet. Here I'm going to this map worksheet, a map visualization, and here we'll be dropping different fields in different cards. Earlier you know how to use the color, size, and label cards. You can drop measures to label. When you drop to the label, it will be visible on the map. You can add to tooltip when you want to hover around. So here just select your order date and drop it to the filter, and here you got various options. Just select a year, so it will be creating a filter based on the years. So we have a range of years from 2016 to 19. Hit OK when you are done, and you need to right click and show filter. So on the right hand side you can see these are the filters. By default everything is checked, but you can filter out the sales data or anything based on the parameter, the filters. Say if you selected only 2019, it will show you the data from 2019, sales record from 2017, and so on, the year you selected. In the similar way, we can create based on a particular date, different months, weekend. You can also add timing if you have that in your record, and you can use it as a filter parameter. Not every data has to be visualized, but it can be used as a filter as well. So if you want to add more date values like weekdays, days of the week, you can drop it again. There is no limit for applying filters only once. You can apply multiple kinds of filters. So here just show it again. Just hit click, and here we can select everything. Say if you want to select all the sales data from 2016 and 19, where days were Sunday and Saturday and Friday, so the weekends, it will show you the data. You can select anything based on the day, a particular date, anything. You can also add different kinds of filters like color filters and everything else. Here we got a specific state, and when you got this filter, you can add to the dashboard as well. So it will be reflecting to other parameters, other visualizations. So just do the same thing. Go to dimension, measures, drop any field to the filter that you want to add. You can add numerous filters. Okay, so here I've chosen the date. You can add the price, you could add the quantity of orders, you can filter out anything. Like if the order sale is more than 10,000 units per annum, it will show you on the screen, or in the similar way you could add different kind of things. So you have to just update it in a dashboard. If you want to add the filter, you just need to update, or either you can remove the worksheet and add it again. So it will create a filter will be visible to your, and it's always better to add filters to your dashboard visualizations. So when you are presenting your insights to someone, you can search anything at the moment. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you're going to learn about adding filters to your presentation in dashboard. So in the earlier lesson, we have created a worksheet with map visualization, our map chart, where we have created two different filters, as you can see on the right hand side. So both are date based filters. One can be done with days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. And one is based on the annual basis, 2016, 2017, 18, and 19. So we can add the same filters from our worksheet to the dashboard. So first you need to update or just delete the earlier worksheet and then add the updated worksheet. So this updated worksheet comes with the filters as well, and you can separately reposition the filters on the dashboard. So here just adjust your map so that each thing would be visible clearly. And you can see just next to the bubble chart, these are the filters, the date filters. You can just hold and drag to the place. So sometimes if you have multiple filters, you can also add position, place them in the proper location on the dashboard. There is no fixed rule. You have the flexibility to design your dashboard the way you want. So here, when we apply this query, we can select a particular year. It will be updated in the map. So there are two ways of adding these filters. First, you can add the filter right on the worksheet. So in that case, only the particular visualization from the worksheet, not other worksheets that are added in the dashboard, will be updated. So here, when we apply filters, it will only reflect to the map. It won't reflect to the dual axis chart or the bubble chart. Okay. So if you want to do that, you will be learning in the coming lesson. You can create filters that will affect the entire dashboard and other visualizations. So there could be different scenarios. Okay, now it is not applicable in all the scenarios. Sometimes you want to add filter only to the map, or sometimes you want to add filter to entire dashboard and different charts. Okay, so this is how you create filters and add it to the dashboard. So go to your data set and create different worksheets, add different filters, and here you can also apply a combination of the values. Say you can either select all the years or a particular year. So if you select 2019, and you can choose Sunday and Saturday, so it will show you the values only for the year 2019 in all Sundays and Saturdays. So in the weekends we got sales from California, South Dakota, and Louisiana. We didn't got any sales from Canada by these parameters. So you can provide query based on time and other filters as well. So try creating your own filter, add it to the dashboard. Keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, we are going to learn about calculating measures and creating a dual axis chart in Tableau. So let's start. So once you got measures, and you can apply it as a row and column to create various kinds of charts, you can, by default it is set to sum. So it will generate the sum of the values, but you can change it to count, average, anything else. So just right click your property and change the measure count from sum to count, count distinct, median, or any other values. You can find average, you can find minimum, maximum, standard deviation, percentile, variance, and other things. So based on your requirement, you can always change the calculating value of a measure. So you can do a lot of things. So measures are the numerical values and you can perform various kinds of operation. So one axis of your chart will represent that thing. So here if we want to create a dual axis chart, what is dual axis chart for those who are new to this thing? It has a two different axes, the x and y, and it is used to represent complex information in simple way. So here you got two y-axis and two x-axis. So on the left hand side you got this, we are pasting it in a manner that in the column we are applying order quantity, and in the row we got the order quantity sum and the sum of profit, and in the column we also have the country value. So this is a dual axis chart. On the left y-axis we got order quantity, and on the right y-axis we got the profit, and we have data for two countries, Canada and US, both represented differently on the x-axis, and you got a country by order quantity parameter on the graph. So here we got two options, one is order quantity and one is profit. So the bars will represent order quantity and the circles represent the profit value. So you can represent various parameters on the same single graph. The dual axis graphs are very useful if you try to create a dashboard that will consist a lot of information. So you have a very limited space to represent a chart. Say you can have up to 6 or 5 charts that can elaborate very clearly, although you can have more number of charts, but there is a restriction, psychological restriction, so you can just use 4 to 5 charts to be visually appealing. So in order to, if you have a say 12 or 13 charts to represent, you can create multiple dual axis charts to segregate the values in a single chart. You could create different kinds of dual axis charts with scatter plot and different things. The scatter plots are generally used to find the outliers. Okay, so you can try different charts with the same number of values and they will be migrated that way. So here we got a dual axis chart and we'll be using it to in our dashboard. So we can, if you want to look at, if you want to find out which country generated more profit, we can clearly say USA generated more profit in this case. In Canada there are less number of order quantities compared to USA. In the US we got more order quantities as well. Okay, so this graph will represent a huge different kinds of data, and you can create different kinds of dual axis chart in Tableau. So just get your data and try creating a visualization right from scratch. So keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson you are going to learn about creating a butterfly chart in Tableau. So let's start. So here we got different measures and dimensions. Let's take any measure and put it on the columns, and let's take one more measure, and here we got two different bar chart, and let's put a dimension here, let's say states, and put it in the rows. So here we got two different bar charts arranged in the form of states. So we got total price and the profit, and we can change with a different measure, say order quantity, with respect to different states. You can take any numerical value or measures and put it in the columns. So in order to make it butterfly, we need to do some different steps. First step is to make them align towards the central axis. We need to create a zero axis, or we can reverse the direction of left-sided chart. So it may look like it is appearing from the center, just like a funnel chart. But here we won't be arranging. Funnel chart is generally arranged. You can change the type of individual measures, say from sum to average to median or count, anything you want. Okay, so you can change it from measure type, from sum to say median value, If you want to display the average, you can also display the counts, individual counts, and you can also convert a measure to dimension if you require. Next, you need to go to right click and edit axis and just select the reverse. So it will just reverse your left sided chart. Okay, we just want to reverse the left sided because we want it to align towards the central vertical axis, and we can change the color of individual bars anytime we want. Okay, so let us make a left side with pink and the right side keep it blue. You can take the same color, but we want to make it more colorful, so let's take a different color. And we can drop any information in the labels, details or tooltips tag, say country information, the state information, anything if you want to display. But here we got just 2 countries, so it's better not to take this thing. Just use the state's name, and we want to make it to the center, so let's hide this axis and just go to this colors, and we can create a 0 axis later on. You can turn the opacity and reduce it, or if you want to keep it 100%, you can keep. If you want a little bit less vibrant color, you can turn the opacity little bit lower. Okay, so here let us create a new calculated field for 0th axis. You can just right click on the measures and create calculated field, the first option. Provide a name for this calculated field. Here we can just write axis 0 for 0th axis and just write 0 number and hit OK. So we just want to create an axis for this 0th line and just drop it towards the between these 2 column values right in the center, so that it will be drawn in the center. So here we got 3 columns here. The first thing is total price on the left hand side, and the middle we got axis, on the right hand side we got average profit. And here we can just add this states information and change it to the text from automatic. So if you change to text, the text information would be displayed and they would be automatically center aligned. Otherwise you can also align it. You going to the text properties, you can align to the center, make it vertical or horizontal, and here we got a simple butterfly chart. You can perform various additions to this, modifications. You could add the filters, you could change the color of the appearance of text. Say if you want to recolor the states in terms of countries, so here just drop the country in colors, so all states would be recolored. Say the states that belong to United States, USA, will be colored in the dark blue, and the states that belong to the Canada, they are colored in the golden color and the yellow. You can change the color of individual states and how they are displayed by just moving to the color option. You can go to edit color, you can change the color of either the bars or the countries. Okay, on the right hand side we got this simple little box for the information of countries, the states that belong to a different country, and you can add this thing. We call this butterfly chart because a butterfly is generally consisted of multiple colors. So just make this chart more colorful, add a different color, don't keep it monotonous. And the second thing is a butterfly has 2 wings that spans on the left and the right hand side, and it's got a 0th axis. This we have this kind of appearance. Okay, we can change the color of individual countries here. Say put green color for Canada, or you can take a different color and just edit it, and if you're not satisfied you can just rechange anytime later. Just try to align with the story. And because we have the white background, so it's better to take some dark color so the text will be easily readable. Here we got a large number of states information. If you have a less number of information, it will be better to use any color. You can also increase the size of text if you want. You can keep it small, readjust the size of the chart as per the requirement. You could add it to the dashboard. So just try creating this butterfly chart Try to create your own variation of this chart. You can add more information in the tooltip. So here we can add information, say with the bar charts on the left hand side you can add some text information. On the right hand side on the right bar you have different information, say profit. On the left hand side we got order quantity, and the center we got states property. So try to add as much as information that are required in an individual chart, and make it beautiful as well. So try to create your own butterfly chart in Tableau. You will be learning more in the coming lessons. Till then, keep learning and keep moving ahead. Hi, welcome back friend. Here in this lesson, you're going to learn about creating a funnel chart in Tableau. So let's start with this. A funnel is generally in the form of a V shape, where we have the upper section of the chart with a more width and lower section with a less width. So you can display various information in the order. So here let's put some value, put product category in the rows, and in the columns we got order quantity. So here we have just got this bar chart, and we can place one more order quantity, because in this case we got two different bar charts. So we can just go to and delete it. We have to create a calculated field, because we want the both charts to appear from the center. Okay, so just create a reverse order, and here we will just writing a code for reversing the order value. So this column will just contain every information in the reverse manner. Okay, so just put the reverse order and place minus sign before that. So here we have created this measure, and just put right before the order quantity. So in this case we got the sum of order. It is in the inclined manner. Okay, it is reversed, so it appears like your chart is appearing from the center. The ratio is generally maintained. Okay, the ratio is followed, but the appearance of your chart has now changed. So we can readjust the size of these bars to fit according to your need, and here we can just, you can also remove something. You can change the size, you can make the bars more thick or small. Here you got different marks, and you can edit various properties here. You can change to average, median, if you don't want to put the sum. Then you can change the orientation from automatic to area chart, and you can remove some axis if you don't want. So just expand it, make this chart a little bit bigger, so that you can have this funnel like look. Next we can just recolor this thing, or we can sort it. Okay, when we hover around individual marks, we can just check the values. So let's change the color. You can also use the all. You can change the color in the combined way, or you can individually select. So just go to the colors property and drop product category on the colors. So all the bars would be colored based on the product category. Okay, so each category would have a different color. You can change the color options here. You can choose a different color palette or different color scheme, and you can also individually recolor a single entity. Say you can change the color of food category, the medicines, the technology sector, and the different things. Say twice you can change. So this is the color combination that I applied. It looks more decent color, not very vibrant. And just change the order. You can just change it to area chart if you want an area funnel. Okay, you can use this. So it may depend on the scenario. If you want to make it with bubbles, with square shapes or different shapes, you can do so. But ideally we require these bars to appear, and you can add two different values. On the left hand side we can add display, say order quantity, and on the right hand side we can drop profit. So in this case we got different information from the same bars. Okay, this doesn't represent the lower end or the upper end. It just represents things are in order. You can individually rearrange them, or you can delete an individual column or remove it if you want. Okay, say for some reason you don't want to sort your order, you can just rearrange, put something in order. Otherwise, you can just go to the sorting option. You can sort in two ways, ascending and descending order, and you can move on with the option you require. Ideally, funnel charts are bigger on the top and smaller values displayed on the bottom end. Okay, you can change it to pyramid chart. Reverse of funnel is pyramid. So in that case, if you want a pyramid chart, you got the wider section on the lower end and the thinner section on the top. It may appear like a triangle. So here we got this funnel, and it simply compares different values put in order. Okay, we can add these labels, as you know, and this is how you just create a funnel chart. You can also improvise it further. You could add caps to the bars. You could add some more information like geographical information. You could add different filters here. You can just create custom filters for dates and different selections, and you can use it for drilling down in the dashboard. You could add with the different visualization in a dashboard, and you can change it to the line area chart. This is how area funnel chart looks like. So it looks like a funnel with the different values. It has this indications on individual values. Okay, so for some reasons you may require this kind of things, say water crisis. If you want to add some flow, you could use this kind of chart. Otherwise, if you require bar charts, it would be there based on your story and the importance of data that you want to convey. Say the area bar chart would be helpful if you want to show global carbon emission, because it looks like a smoke. Okay, you can use it to show water harvesting or agriculture, pesticide, anything like that. The bar charts may have a comparative appearance. Okay, so bars have the individual identity and they get compared, but the area chart, they all look like as if they are connected, and there is some order of appearance. Either the water any flow is increasing or decreasing. So based on your requirement, if all the categories are almost different, you can choose to use bar. Otherwise, you can go with the area charts. Visualization is important, and generally the charts are created for the information that you want to convey. Bars, the charts does not only show you the data, you also want to share some insights. So based on the insights, you can re-modify. Say if you have multiple information, you could have this complex funnel chart as here. You could have the states information as well as category. Multiple dimensions can be added. So don't try to make your chart very complex. Try to keep it simple. But if you have a complex data to represent, you may use this kind of visualization. Okay, so two different parameters are adjusted here in a complex funnel. So try to create your own funnel chart in Tableau with a variety of data that you require. Keep learning and keep moving ahead.